This image off to the right, it's really a beautiful representation of that electric blue fire. Electric fire. And of course the electric fire, it wants like lightning to be zapping everywhere. That's the mind, always zapping, always active, always moving. And what we are doing, we are bringing the mind back into a singular focus, unmoving, which gathers all the electric fire into one very dynamic, laser-like electric blue. That then we can focus that light on an image, a feeling. And just like when you go to the movie, they turn the projector on. That's the focused light. They put in front of it a film. It immediately plays upon the screen. And it's what we are doing every moment. It's just that it's a scattered, unconscious thing we're doing. Where a realized God or goddess would be able to simply hold the mind supremely steady, bring forth the image feeling, hold the image feeling, shine the light upon it, manifestation would occur. A loaf, a fish, any reality. That's the power and the creative force that's within us. So let's take a moment and please talk about any experiences, ways that I could help you refine and come to a deeper feeling about holding the mind steady upon the electric blue flame that is a focused intention that we can then bring to bear upon an image and creation. How'd it go? I'll start.
Gary.
Someone call upon me. Well, of course, I've become so somewhat adept at this that all of a sudden this electric blue field, it begins here, and all of a sudden it just, the whole torus around me just swishes up and around, and it begins to come alive with this electric blue light, just like a gigantic light bulb down beneath me. And in the center of it, I can feel that this is the consciousness that I am, that is holding this electric blue field alive. And as I'm focusing upon it, and it becomes ever more scintillating and vibrant, it's I can literally just feel it like a cocoon. It just begins to hover here in the room and holds all of us in this electric blue. And what is this electric blue? It's the body of God. It's not my individual, it's the body of God. And so it just, like a cocoon, God, Source, shows up in the room. And it then takes over the limited ideas of who we are and begins to bring us to this field vibration. And then as I was sitting within it, I know, because of the work I've done, that it does assemble the star tetrahedron here within the area of the heart chakra. And I also know that once the star tetrahedron is then assembled, that within it there is a doorway. Literally, a doorway opens back into the void, which is spirit. And it was kind of a new recognition for me in a way that coming out is not only spirit, but it's fuel. Fuel. And it's the fuel as it comes out, just as you would have a gas on a stove. Once you turn the fuel on and ignite the flame, what keeps the flame going? The fuel. The unseen, unmanifest fuel. The only reason you know that there is fuel coming out of the stove is because they take a little of smelly gas and they put it in the natural gas so that you can smell it. Otherwise, gas has no smell. And so that's why they then put that little bit of odor in it, just so that when you turn your stove on, you don't leave it on all day long. You go, something stinks. So I had such a profound another realization that this is the fuel. And this is the igniter light. This ignites it. Just like you need the fuel as it comes out, you need to spark it. Well, this is the electric fire mind, creative mind, that sparks the fuel. But now as the fuel is sparked and it's emanating from out of you, what I was seeing and feeling is that was then magnifying and increasing the flame around myself within the room. And the more that I held my mind even more steady and simply watched, felt the fuel, spirit, source, God, whatever you'd like to call it, as it was in, and I was holding my mind steady here and igniting it. That's creation. The fuel that creates. Now, most people in the world, you see, they don't use the interior fuel of spirit. They use what has already been created by spirit, which is the mineral kingdom, the plant kingdom, everything that is resources on earth. They simply use it to manipulate it, control it, make it into what they think will make them happy. And that's been part of the evolution of humanity, to be able to, by grasping and desiring and wanting and making, to understand power and wisdom and love and fear and hopes and dreams. It's all been part of the plan. But now it comes to the point where we have now so manipulated and controlled earth that it's now destructive. And so we have to now come into a new paradigm where from inside out we realize we are also source connected. See, within the very interior of the sun, there is one of these doorways. The sun has around it a star tetrahedron. And in the center of the sun, there is an opening. That's where the fuel comes forth. And as the fuel comes out of the void, it immediately, as it touches the star tetrahedron, just as it does within you and I, it becomes a sparkling golden sunlit. And we see the fuel, God's Spirit, as the living sun that gives life, but it's the fuel, the doorway that feeds the sun. And so you and I literally can become sons. That's the word, sons and daughters of God. You literally open the doorway and you become a living son. You call forth the fuel of that which you are, God's source. And with your refined and honed mind and your love, you are then given the right to be a creator God. And then we create a whole new heaven and earth. An earth that is a magnificent and glorious place, rather than a place of manipulation, control, and degradation. So that's the new paradigm we're entering into.